stamp on your head. They're going to kick you and stab you. That's what you need to avoid. That's why when you're on your feet in boxing, let's say three bomb comes towards you, you fire a first shot, let's say the first guy goes down, you can run now. You don't need to stand.
Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to another episode of London Boy Podcast. It's your host Vinny, and I'm back with another special guest, Ben. This man needs no introduction. Ben, tell them a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, so basically, to put it into perspective, basically my background's just fitness. Fitness is, that's how I describe myself, as someone that is, I love fitness, I love helping people with fitness. Yeah. In terms of like career and stuff, I've been through tried the fitness route, tried different routes, now I'm on a different path, but fitness for me is probably like the way I'd like to describe myself as a fitness person, someone who's in bodybuilding, boxing, pretty much anything like that.
All around fitness, yeah.
Yeah, all around fitness basically, man, yeah, for sure.
And the funny thing is, like, I've known you for time now.
Yeah, no, like, since we was probably like...
Probably 18?
Yeah, maybe younger. Maybe, no,
17.
yeah, mate, because I probably started at the gym about 17, 16, so
yeah,
and you were there when I was there.
Yeah, and I was 18.
Yeah, of course, because you 1 year, yes, right, yeah, you would have been 1 year above me. So no, yeah, long time, man, long time.
Long time ago,
oh, it's very long time, man.
Yeah, so I met you at the very beginning of my personal fitness journey.
Yes, and mine, technically mine too, yes. Well, so we sort of grew together, and then we've reconnected, man, I love it, man.
Reconnected, and now, yeah, you're back at the gym.
Yeah, back at the same gym we started at, man, for sure.
This has been a long time coming, man.
Yes, it has, or maybe even over a year now. Probably during COVID times it may have even been mentioned, so that's crazy to me. But
so I'm guessing you've seen the channel.
Yeah, I've watched most of the videos for this. I've watched most of them. I skimmed through them all. When you sent me a link the first time, I skimmed through all the videos, had a look. Really, mate, I'm interested, man. Do you know what I mean? If any of my pals doing sort of anything like this, I want to help. You know, for real.
So as you can see now, the quality's gone up. Obviously,
yeah, camera quality. You know, it's good.
Yeah, different settings.
Yeah, we're in a gym, man. Yeah, sorry about that. It's my little gym I got.
We're in your gym.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. My little man cave sort of thing. Got a punch bag back here. Do you know what I mean? So it all works well. It's a good gym. Do you know what? In COVID, this was probably for me one of the most important things I could have had.
I was a bit envious, not gonna lie. I was sat at home and you was still training. You know?
No, that's the thing for me. Like that's when I really started to appreciate the garage. I was like, okay, do you know what? I'm lucky here. A lot of people haven't got this sort of thing. I'm lucky that I built it. I built it from a very when I was about 16. I'm 26 now. During COVID, I would have been what, 23, 24. So yeah, it was like 4 or 5 years of building it up. It wasn't just overnight. So, but it was worth it. You know, in the long term, it was worth it. 100%.
So yeah, I want to talk about your fitness journey.
Yeah, of course.
So, when we first met each other at the gym, at our local gym, we were both pretty much skinny, right?
Oh, for sure. I was probably about. I want to say I'm 6'2" now. Yeah, I was about 6'1" at the time and 9 stone. So in kilos, that's about 60 kilograms.
60 kilograms.
Yeah, that's about 60 kilograms.
I started at 75 kg.
Okay, which is that's a big. So you were probably looking around about 12 and a half, maybe 12 and a half stone. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and how much do you weigh now?
I currently at this moment in time weigh about 80. Well, I'm 13 stone 8, so that's about
85.
Bit over 86, 87. But for me, it's all about. I like to, once I get to the goal, so for me it's about cutting, and if that's my goal, I'm putting my whole heart into it. Once that's achieved, I'm like, right, it's on to the next, I want to bulk again now.
It's safe to say, like, over the years you put on a good 20 kg of muscle.
I have gone crazy. You can even put some clips in. I'm going to send you some photos of me when I was, of my different sizes. I want everyone to see. I was probably the skinniest kid on the planet. And I mean, we'll go back here actually, so when I was in school, they used to call me Skeletor, they'd call me chicken legs, I would always get in this, people taking the piss, and it was always the bigger kids really, like the chubbier ones that would just take the piss. And I used to say to them, watch. You stay watch. One day I'm going to be bigger than all of you, and I swore by that, and I made, if anything, it might have got a bit insane with it, because I took that to heart, and I made sure that I got to where I wanted to be, and that took me time.
Yeah, it's like...
It took so long, but for me, it was worth it, man, 100%.
Like a similar scenario for me, like I've never been muscular, but I've always been like big built, like big bones,
genetics, mate, your genetics, that's the thing, it's all about, a lot of it is genetics.
But I never had core strength.
Yeah, that's a lot of people miss on not many people do that.
So that's why in school, even though I was big, even though I was like tall, whatever, like, you know, the bigger you are, if you don't have like the power to back up, it just makes you a big target, don't it?
100%. So, a lot of guys when I went to school with, or some of the big guys, they were like, I don't want to say weak because that's horrible, but they weren't they didn't have the balance almost to carry their weight. They didn't know how to use their own weight, and that to me is it's important to know how to carry your own weight.
So yeah, was that your motivation to get
100%, 1,000,000%. Eventually, after school, after being not targeted for being skinny, not targeted, it wasn't that bad obviously, but I didn't make any better. But I wore skinny clothes, tight skin clothes. I made it worse, but at the same time, it was just that was the fashion at the time, just skinny jeans and skinny shirts and all that stuff. But I went from, sorry, go on, Karen, what was you going to say?
No, I just remember like when I first meeting the first few years at the gym, obviously no shade because you've come a long way, but you'd have like a string with like a tank top on and you'd be skinny, right?
Mate, but, I was trying to dress like a bodybuilder without the bodybuilder clothing. Yeah, it was more of like it was trying to encourage me more. It was trying to encourage me more, but I honestly loved it, man. That was a journey for me. Like being skinny, I wouldn't go back and change it. That's why after school I went to college, and after college I thought that was good. This was the one. I was like, this is the time now where I'm going to change it. This is where I'm going to make a difference, and I'm going to get big. And I started studying level 2 fitness.
Oh wow!
And for me, that was a massive game because I started to learn about it in such a depth that I didn't even know I could learn. And I took all that knowledge and I used it in my own world. Obviously, it was meant to be so you then become a PT or a gym instructor, but I used that knowledge to sort of benefit my own goals. And for me, that massively helps, hugely helps.
So at sixth form, I took BTEC Sport as one of my core topics.
I didn't even do that school. I should have done, man.
But there's different systems in your body, isn't it? There's your neuro system, your muscular system.
Yep, cardiovascular system. You've got a lot of different. It's so complex, man.
Complex, isn't it?
Someone will tell you that this is the way to get this, that, the other. And then some other guy will tell me different. He'll tell me different. And you'll end up having about 45 different opinions, and that can drown some people, you know.
It's cool. Have you heard of the term information constipation?
I haven't, but I'm going to use that though. That's good. I like that one, bro. That's good.
No, you get too much information. It's this way, it's that way. But reality is, there's different ways to skin a cat.
Of course, no, 100%.
And it's never one size fits all because
absolutely.
Everybody's different.
I was just going to say, do you know what? It's massively. There was a bodybuilder from back in the day. I can't actually remember his name now, but he was sort of competing during the Arnold season. Arnold time. He was one of the old school bodybuilders, and all them guys used to train 4 hours a day, right?
Fuck yeah.
This guy was a professor. Okay, he was a professor.
Like a uni.
Yeah, a uni professor. He was an intelligent man. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but put a picture of him because I'll find it and then slip a picture in there. Yeah, he only trained 3 hours a week.
A week. So you go gym, let's say 3 days a week, do an hour each day.
45 minutes, 4 days a week, 4 times a week he did. And honestly, something like 3 times a week, 45 minutes, something along those lines. And his physique was incredible. But he didn't, because he did it based on science. That's the thing, if he come up to a kid and said, this is what you need to do, that kid is not going to gain from that.
But was he like a genetic...
for sure. And obviously on steroids and all of the roids and stuff. And
I want to talk about all of that.
Oh mate, got loads of things to talk about. Steroids is
cool.
That's a dark
So what was your core motivation to get started on your fitness journey?
So take away the getting big part, right? So that's obviously a main motivation, but massively for me it was mental health, man. Mental health. I'm a big supporter of it. I'm a believer in mental health. I myself have mental health issues and I suffer with that, and I use fitness to sort of help me in that sense. And here's the thing though, it can flip on its head. Eventually I became it made me unwell in a different way because I was obsessed with my body. I was obsessed looking big. If I even lost 1 pound on the scale, I was going to lose my mind, you know. And I became almost like a bigorexia almost, which was to me.
I'm smiling and nodding along. I know exactly what
you know exactly. Of course you do. That's exactly. You know the feeling. And so then I think, and then I take a step back and think, hold on a second. I'm doing all this fitness stuff to have a better life mentally, and now all I'm doing is I'm gaining other mental health issues in itself. And that's when you have to take a step back and think, come on, man, I'm human. This isn't my life. I'm not getting paid for this. I've got to work a normal job. I have to do this and that. Why am I going to add? Why am I going to add so much stress to myself? That's when you got to take a step back and think, okay, look, you'll be alright. You can just take your time with it, and it will come. You know, don't rush.
Yeah, but to be real, in 8 years I've been training. I think the best time for me was, those newbie games when you're like 3 months in, you're like, fuck it, what's happening?
Do you know what? At the moment, I feel like I'm getting them again.
What, the newbie games?
Yeah, because I literally, because I've been I had a break from the bodybuilding, and now I'm going back into it again. I'm getting the strength. It's just like it's climbing the ladder. I'm like, oh my god, this is that.
Memories.
Yeah, man, that's legit. Do you know what? This will be my first ever time experiencing muscle memory because I've always tried to get bigger. I've never ever tried to get smaller, then bigger. Yeah. So this is going to be like a massive new thing for me. I'm excited for it though, to be honest. I'm really excited, really excited.
Yeah, I'm happy to see you back. I was at the gym on Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah, I see you in the corner. I was like, there he is.
I was like, fucking hell, is that Ben? Shit.
No, that's the thing. It's good that honestly, being back at the gym is great. Like, it's a great gym, big up animal gym, but it's no, for real, it's a good gym, man. It's good. It's a community that's nice, and I miss that. Do you know what I'm saying?
And what stuck me in that gym for 8 years? Obviously, I've visited other gyms, but I haven't cheated on the gym, right?
No, of course.
I've been loyal, but it's
Loyalty,
because it's not only because it's close to my house, but also it's a proper bodybuilder's gym.
Yeah, man, it is. I think it needs a bit of TLC here and there, but I think other than that, it's got a great staple.
Yeah,
it's got a great foundation. I've been to unlike you, bruv, I've cheated on a lot of gyms, man. I've been to a lot of gyms, and I've seen them all the way Norfolk and all over the world. Like, when I go on holiday, I check out all the gyms and that. So for me, it's not about what you have in the gym.
It's what you do. It's
about the environment. Is it a toxic environment? Because if it is, don't count me out straight up. I want to be involved in a gym that's toxic, so that's why I like to go to animal.
And no shade to like commercial gyms.
Oh
right?
no, yeah.
But I've tried out what's the popular one now?
Oh, Energy Fitness.
No, it's one.
Pure Gym.
Pure Gym. I've tried that.
Pure Gym's alright, yeah. No, seriously, I used to go to the one in Harlow, and it's just a lot of emptiness, and I just used to go in there and used to think, have you got like a multi-story car park sized gym and you've got nothing in it?
Yeah.
You're just wasting space. It's just sad because I used to think, oh man, this could have so much potential, but they're commercial gyms. It's completely different.
I think at some point last year, I was dating someone from a gym, right?
Okay.
So we were working out together a
few
few
nice.
times.
That's always good.
And she wanted to try out Pure Gym in Cheshunt, right?
Oh yeah. Brookfield Far. That's new, that one.
So we went there at 9 o'clock, man.
Yeah.
It was absolutely packed.
That's dead.
I couldn't get to the machines.
But that's dead.
The people there, they're very anti-social.
Yeah, that's just you don't need that, man.
Dead, man. I'm never going back there again.
I've seen videos online of people, like 7 men, queuing up to go on a sniff, and I'm thinking, and they're on their phone queuing. What are you queuing for? Like, you're not gonna go to another gym. Like, there's other gyms out there, but this is the thing. The cheaper gyms attract more people. It's just, especially nowadays, cost of living crisis, as you know, so it does attract more people.
Yeah, but back to our gym, Animal Gym, man.
Big up
it's
Animal
the vibe, it's the machines, it's the environment.
Yeah, it's all classic.
Yeah, big up, man. It's classic.
It's a classic. Big up Archie as well. Archie's he's a good man. You know what I'm saying?
He is a good man.
And when I walked in there, it's good because I walked in, he just went, hey man, he's like oh, man, this is wholesome, man. It's wholesome. That's where I put it, wholesome. My brother's come back, and my brother feels hood about it. My brother's been going there still, to be honest, but he was more coming to another gym with me, and now he's come back there. It's great, man. It's a wholesome feeling.
That's the thing. That's what I love about it, because you go to, like I said, the other gyms like Pure Gym and all that. Yeah. It's like very like robotic, isn't it? Like
man, for sure. There's
no humanity in it.
Nope, and there's no culture.
There's no culture.
Oh, the culture is that. That is the culture of it being just a packed gym full of mums who drop the kids off to school and need to get a 10-minute workout in,
and then it's full of those, like, I don't want to sound too harsh, but those fuckboys.
Posers, I'd say.
Yeah.
Posers is a good word used. Now I think that's what a lot of people are taking selfies, man. Then mirrors get used more than the equipment. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? You need to, if a gym's getting used for its mirrors, so Rip Gym in Harlow.
Never been, but I heard a lot
of things. So I used to work there, man. Good, honestly, it's a good gym. Not the best place to work at per se for me, but it was a great gym to train at. And but they used to have a sunbed shop in there, right? And basically stopped. They got rid of the sunbed because they didn't like the sort of people it was bringing in, the fuckboys, and they didn't want them people in the gym, sort of the posers. They said, "No, we got rid of it. Or we only want." So I respect a gym like that. They don't give a fuck, mate. They'll have whatever they want in there.
You know what? Like, the only other gym that probably beats Animal Gym, I've only been there a handful of times and I love it. And if it was close to my house, I'd probably go there.
Well,
Monster Gym.
Oh, mate, Monster Gym's sick, mate.
Sick, man.
Do you know what about Monster though? The downside, they need to clean it, man.
You think it's quite dirty?
When you go in there and you leave, your hands are black.
Fuck it.
Like, and that might just be because of like the grips and stuff, but a lot of people, like when I went over to the dumbbell rack, there was like a 60 kg over there, a 2 kg like next to it. It was a bit unorganised, but that's a minor. That's minor for me.
Minor,
that is minor. If we're talking about the gym as a whole, there's nothing they don't have.
But you know who rates that gym a lot? Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, no, and Batista.
Batista as
yeah,
well.
Batista.
Yeah.
I used to flex that all the time. I used to train at the gym that Batista and The Rock used to train at, and I was like, okay, but maybe I shouldn't keep saying that because.
No, but even like if he comes to London for like a press release, either of them, they'll get in like a private taxi and they'll get dropped off to Chesham. So out of all places.
Well, imagine the Dwayne Johnsons in Chesham. Like, that's crazy to me, man.
Right, if I see him coming out of fucking private car, I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, I'll be like this, like,
I wouldn't be able to train, to be honest. That'd put me off. I'd have to go and be like,
yeah, I'd be gassed, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd be like, Jesus, spot. You know
so yeah, man. So you spoke about your personal motivation, but I know we just spoke about a bit about celebrity and gyms and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like I've been on the YouTube train with fitness.
Yeah,
I know you definitely been on the YouTube train with fitness.
Oh mate, yeah.
So what YouTubers have been like your motivation when you, especially when you was getting started?
Yeah, I got it. So right, for me, I'd say David Lade. Right, a lot of people. That's very cliche. Everyone loves David Lade. Do you know David Lade?
Never heard of him.
Okay, that's crazy to me. David Lade is a Gymshark athlete, right?
Oh right.
For me. Well, actually, let's go back a bit more. Probably like Jeff Side. Do you know Jeff Side? Yeah, so like people like Jeff Side probably.
Was he still making videos?
Yeah, no, he bulked up to like a stupid size and
right.
looks like he looked terrible. Like he got way fat, and then he just come off YouTube because of it. But then now he's cut. Now he's back to normal. But I'd say he probably. Oh, yeah, he made me realise what you can get, and at the time I thought he was natural.
Yeah.
He says he's still natural. That's BS, but. At the time, I thought that was achievable naturally, so that was my motivation. Then I started to find out people like David Lade, who is a Gymshark athlete, who would just sort of like make videos about how he struggled to gain weight. But he had a mad physique, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he said he struggled to bulk, and he went from really skinny to like incredible physique, and that really motivated me. And he had like daily vlogs I'd watch and whatnot. And to be honest, it's that YouTube scene that probably got me so into it. To be honest, the bodybuilding side of it, anyway, that's for sure.
I only really followed two fitness.
Who do you follow?
Like people like Mike Rashid. I follow him on and off.
Yeah,
he's got good.
Yeah, Mike Rashid's he's a bit
Like he taught me about pyramid sets.
Yeah,
overtraining and all that sort of stuff.
Jeff Side taught me about the pyramid sets. Yeah, that's I should have mentioned that. Actually. That was a mainstay.
But like my main two people I followed getting into fitness.
Yeah.
Were Elliot House.
Bloody hell, what a throwback. Was he still make videos?
Yeah, but he's more like a spiritual...
Didn't he not lose his mind?
Elliot.
Didn't he go crazy with it?
He did.
And a lot of people didn't like him after that.
I don't think so.
I heard a lot about that. I need to look into that.
But he's very conservative now. Like a lot of his views and opinions are very conservative.
He dropped a lot of following because of it though, didn't he, I believe. So that's, but mate, fair play to him.
Yeah, big up Elliot House and big Brandon Carter as well.
Brandon Carter, just funny, my stepdad, right? He told me about Brandon Carter.
Did he?
Yeah, because he was like, I watch a fellow on YouTube, Brandon Carter, he actually talks a lot about this, that, that, and he had a very like aggressive, like cool
approach, like
stop being a bitch like that. And that was cool. And that for me, like that works for me. So I started watching him, and then that's how I got into like that side of like he would do like videos with obviously Conor Murphy, and then I would watch those, and it just exploded, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to say like big up Brandon Carter. I've had his brother's been on the show, Uncle Rob.
You know what? I just watched that one.
You seen it?
I watched a clip. I was just showing my stepdad about it. Yeah. I was just showing my stepdad because he knows about Brandon. So I thought he could relate to it a little bit. But no, mate. Honestly, the YouTube scene really helps. Without YouTube, would I even be into the gym? Maybe not.
Probably not.
Maybe not. Maybe if I read a magazine, that's probably the equivalent, you know?
Like, it's funny how like something so simple like YouTube can spark your fitness journey, you know?
Massively. I'm a product of my own environment. So you put me in a position, you put me somewhere, I will be that person. You put me in a gym, I'll be a bodybuilder. You put me anywhere, put me in a swimming pool, I'll probably try and become a swimmer. As long as I come there every day, you know, as long as that's a constant thing in my life.
Learn it,
I'll become that, do you know what I'm saying? And that can be bad in terms of if you're hanging out with the wrong crowd. You know, at some points in my life, I've panned down with dodgy people, and
You get influenced.
Yeah, and you become dodgy like them, and then you think, oh, do you know what? This probably isn't the best suit for me. Maybe I should move on. So that's how life is, though, isn't it? I suppose you have to go through it like that.
So we spoke a bit about bodybuilding and influences getting started.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you just got back into bodybuilding recently.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, what have you been doing in between?
Right. So basically, I cut the start short. So I started working at a gym, which had a boxing facility there.
Okay.
And at that time, I was bulking to get to. My goal was to get to 100 kilo, which was 16 stone. I wanted to get to that goal.
Yeah.
And I used to watch, and I got really friendly with everyone. You know, I ended up knowing a lot of people at that gym. A lot of them people boxed. Yeah. And a lot of those people, one of those guys specifically called Adam Davison, who will watch this video, I became really close with this guy Adam, and he would talk to me about boxing. He would talk to me a lot about Christianity. He was very religious. He's very passionate, and he was passionate about the Christianity just as much as he was with boxing. So the passion really showed through, and it shined through to me. Yeah. He would offer to take me on the pads for free. I would say no, because I said I don't want to be boxing. I want to be a bodybuilder. And he never liked that. Yeah, he never really got that. He's a very tough man, you know, and he basically was the one who got me into this boxing. Now, after seeing all the boys boxing, I became friends with them. He said, do one session. I said, do you know what? Okay. I said, do you know what? I'm actually gonna drop some weight. I said, I think I got my target of 100 kilo. I put on a lot.
You got there?
Yeah, I got there. Yeah. I put on again. I'll send the photo to you. You can slip it in there. I got to 100 kilo, 16 stone. I was unhealthy. I couldn't even walk 10 minutes without getting that breath. Oh, massively.
Yeah.
I was having a Tasties chicken every night, and if you don't know what that
big
is,
up Tasties.
Yeah, big up Tasties. Every night, I was having a Tasties chicken every night.
You know
10
what?
Flat wingmeal with a Coke.
You know what? They're probably responsible for my lockdown weight gain. I'm not gonna lie.
They were the only place open. It was like hard to get a takeaway from anywhere else, but no, Tasties was the one. I was having it every single night because I worked silly hours. But anyway, I ended up going to the boxing class. Yeah. I fell in love straight away, man. My big 100 kilo body though couldn't keep up with it.
And strong though, at least.
I was very strong, but it doesn't matter. I was trying to throw a big hook, and then by the time I threw the hook, someone just banged me in my face 3 times because I was slow. Ended up losing a lot of weight. I ended up losing 20 kilograms, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah. Ended up losing a lot of weight, and I used to go on if anyone knows this, what the Stairmaster's like. I did that every single day. I did 45 minutes every day. And I made sure, don't get me wrong, I didn't start on 45 minutes. I started off on 5, then 10, then 15, then 30, and eventually I got to 45 minutes. And I'd do 45 minutes every single day. I think the last time I did it, I got an hour. And then I just dropped a lot of weight, but I didn't go about it the right way. I ended up dropping my calories down to about 1,700 from 5,000 overnight.
You used to be on 5,000 calories.
About 4,000, 5,000 calories a day. Because I used to have one of my protein shakes was about 1,200 calories. That was just one of my shakes. So I ended up dropping so many calories and then smashing the cardio and the boxing. I ended up just like crying all the time because I was just emotionally drained. Like I would just be like upset, and I would just be like, what's going on with me? Like, why am I not? And then people would say, mate, you're not fucking eating enough. Like, eat some more food. You're training super hard. So anyway, I ended up sort of reassessing that. I ended up putting a bit more weight on because I was trying to find my feet. But then basically I fell hard into the boxing at this point. My friend Adam, who is my coach, was helping me through this, and I could not thank him enough because he would do anything. He was staying late. He was helping all the guys with the boxing. He was just a massive. So he got me into this, you know. And now we've got other we've got George Hilliard, who's a professional boxer, now professional bare knuckle fighter. Once Adam left, obviously put some clips in of him. He's incredible. He then took over and became the new coach. And the same thing, the same energy, you know. I took that, and he helped me again. That another step. So Adam Davison, George Hilliard, thank you again for what you've done. You helped me get into that world, and that really just set the boxing journey off.
And then from then you was having like fights.
Yeah, man. I think about 6 weeks, about 6 months into my boxing journey, I was offered to fight on Rage Combat, which is where Littleman fought. So Littleman fought on this show, and I think it was Chew fighting a guy called Tune. You had another couple famous guys on there. I think James Locke might have fought on there, I believe.
Mad,
so I was offered to fight on that show. At the time, I said, yeah. I said, of course. Of course I'm going to bring it on. And then when I left the gym and got home, and then I realised, oh wait, I'm about to be fighting my first fight in front of thousands of viewers online. My heart just sank, mate. And I'll be honest with you, my arsehole went. I said, I said, do you know what? I don't think I'm ready for this. And I pulled out. And to me, do you know what? I look back at that and I'm fucking pissed that I've done that. But at the time, it was the right thing to do. So really, maybe I don't regret it. But at the same time, it was like, that would have been my first fight. Besides that, I pulled out the fight and there was a lot of pressure lifted off me. And at that point, that's when I said, okay, now let's get good at this. Do you know what I mean? Let's get really into this. Let's crack on and let's get somewhere where I can have a fight and feel confident. And that's exactly what I did. And it was probably the best experience of my life.
I remember seeing on your Instagram, you was fighting in Watford.
Yeah, I fought
in prison.
That's correct. I fought in Watford prison, not prison as in the nightclub prison. Everyone thinks I was fighting in a prison cell. No. But no, I was fighting in a nightclub. And that was my first fight, and yeah, it went brilliantly. I fought a fella called Parvez. He was 95 kilo and I was 85 kilos. He had
quite a big weight.
He had a big weight difference. To be honest, we agreed at a weight, but I just couldn't bulk up, man. And I was confident I was going to beat him anyway. So
you beat him?
I beat him. Yeah, it was good, mate. Honestly, it wasn't a shit fight though. It was a good fight. It was a hard fight though. And yeah, I ended up fighting him. Won that fight. That gave me the absolute bug. I then went and fought a fella in Ware called Ronnie, and he had 12 fights, 12 wins at this point. I didn't know that when I took the fight on, but he had 12 fights, 12 wins. And I trained so hard for that fight because that first fight I had, man, I can't even remember it, to be honest. That's how much I was tired, man. My mate said that when I went to the corner, he said he was talking to me, he said I was just looking through him, like I wasn't even there. Because my cardio was so terrible that I thought I was just going to brute my way through it. And I think maybe me trying to bulk up made it worse. So when it came to this second fight, I ran every day. I trained weights like maybe twice a week just to keep strength. And I boxed 4 or 5 times a day. I would hit this bag every morning, 12 rounds on the bag. That's after a run. You know, I was doing like 3.5k, 5k's, trying to get as quick as I can, get as fit as possible. And yeah, that shit worked. And I got fit, and I went and fought that Ronnie fella. Unfortunately, that was a robbery. I know everyone says that if they lose, but I was fighting in his town.
In where?
Yeah, it was a Ware boxing gym event.
They've got a gym.
Yeah, it's a Ware boxing academy. It's very small. It's in a church. Roland though, big up Roland. He's a very very nice guy, and he let me train there for free with my brother. When I was getting matched up. So he's a great man. I'll definitely fight on his show again. But I won't fight a Ware, but someone from wherever again. But I fought this Ronnie fella. He had 12 fights, 12 wins. He never lost a fight. I had 1 fight, 1 win, yeah. I went in there and I fought my heart out, mate. And I hurt him. He was bleeding. I was confident, man. I could see the blood gushing down his face. I weren't tired. He was tired. He was going back to his corner, slumped over. I had him, man. I went back to my corner.
Who dictated the win? Was it?
So it was just like 3 random geezers who just dictated it. It weren't official, mate. It's not official. You can't even appeal it. But
they were like, yeah, he's from where? Give him
well, this is the thing. I was getting booed heavily. There was like 100 people for him.
Because you was the outside.
Yeah, it was like 100, about 100 people there, and I had about 4. And after the fight, I went over to the crowd. I was like, yeah, you fucking this, you fucking that. Like, probably guess want to give me a loss, but I knew I won. I knew I won. And then they said, winner in the red corner. Lifted up Ronnie's hand, and I saw Ronnie, his head was down, bruv. Do you know what I mean? He knew the situation. But he's a great guy, man. He's young as well. He's like 20 years old. He's young, so do you know what I mean? He's quite young, yeah. He's fresh into this, man, still, like. But listen, it was one of those things. And then when I went back to my corner, his coach come over to me, the promoter come over to me and said, look, you know the drill. You know you won that fight, but this is how it goes. And I said, oh, look at that.
Politics.
I said, look at that. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. His coach come up to me and said, I think you won that fight, but you know the drill. And I said, yeah, man, sweet. I said, I fought my heart out, mate. I said, I'm not tired now. I said, I'm just happy I did what I did. And yeah, I'll fight on there again, though. Obviously, I love that. That Ware gym, they're good guys, man. It's just that, unfortunately, that is the politics of white collar boxing. You sell more tickets, you get the win, unfortunately. Unless you're knocking the guy out, it's going to be tricky. So I knew that going in there, don't get me wrong. I wasn't like, oh, you pulled the wool over my eyes. I knew going in that's probably how it was going to go down. But it was more experience for me, man. More experience.
I'm guessing the difference between bodybuilding and obviously boxing, training. I'm guessing boxing is more intense.
Day and night, mate. It's a day. I cannot even stress to you. Do you know now? So I only boxed 2 years, and I look at some muscly guys now when I see them in the street, and I think you would be shit in the ring. You'd be shit in that ring because you look big and you look strong, and I bet you think you're strong and bet you think, which is great. But when you get in the boxing ring, that's completely irrelevant now. Mate, I sparred guys who were like 14. Beat the shit out of me. Beat the shit out of me. And I used to think, oh, what the fuck? You're a child. I'm an adult. How are you beating me up? Because they're just very, very good at that craft. Obviously, there is a weight division for a reason. If one guy's massive, one guy's small, and they can both box, the bigger guy is going to win. Obviously, because that's why there's weight divisions. But if you have someone who's a big bodybuilder, like for example, when I first went into the boxing, I was big and I thought I could break my way through this. I was getting black eye every week. I was getting bloody nose every week. My nose all bent now because I just didn't really. I was taking shots, too many shots, and I wasn't good enough, mate. But I tell you what, when you get hit like that, you start to learn how to be good at defence, and you start to move your head because you think, you know what, I don't want to get hit like this anymore. So really, it's all beneficial, you know. It's all I gained from it all completely.
Interesting, man. So, what would you say you prefer about boxing compared to just bodybuilding?
So with the boxing, it's much more healthy. I'd say you're a lot fitter. Bodybuilding's actually so. Like, them guys you see on the Mr. Olympia, they're the most unhealthiest people on the planet.
Yeah, that's why they're all having like heart attacks and shit.
Everyone's dying, mate. What's that guy that died recently? That bodybuilder, German thing. Like, if you want to, like, yeah, he used to make his chest like a ripple. Very. I'll send you a photo of him. You can slip it in there.
I'm saying, even what's his name? Phil Heath. He's in a wheelchair now.
No, what's it? It was and Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman, that's it.
Mate, they're all completely just crippled, and I'm like, mate, like, is that really the way you want to go? And that's obviously an extreme level of bodybuilding. Obviously, I'm not going to that extreme. I'm not taking steroids. I'm not trying to go crazy with it. But even as a bodybuilder, your body doesn't want to eat 4,000 calories a day.
It's not built to eat 4,000 calories a day.
When you box, you don't eat that many. You eat like 2,500 calories a day. Your body wants to be fit. We was meant to run. We, as like cavemen, we were like tracking our food for like 5 hours. We'd outrun our food. The food we would chase would just eventually collapse and die from exhaustion. We just.
I was going to say that as well. Like I was chatting to, Kane.
Yeah. Oh, I love Kane, man. He's a good guy. He boxed with me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he was good, man. He just wasn't fit enough for it, but he knows that. He's just a big guy, man. He could just slump his way through.
Yeah, and you were saying to me the other. I was saying to him, I was like, mate, like I'm trying to cut down. I've been averaging about 1,500-1,600 calories a day to cut down, right? And I'm still strong. But why do I still feel like I got a belly? And you're saying that cavemen back in the day, they were never used to eat loads of calories a day. They'd eat they'd hunt one animal, eat one animal, and then that would last them until the next meal, which would probably be in 2 days' time.
Oh fuck yeah, I guess.
You know, so like your body's not meant to have all those calories.
Yeah, man, it's
your body's meant to store fat. Like
for sure. Yeah. You can obviously not trick your body, but you can force your body to do other things if you need to. So if like I say, so, and also with the belly, that's the last thing to go for most people's face or belly. For me, it's always belly. That's just a diet thing, man. You got to look at your sugar intake, your fizzy drink intake. These are all these play a huge part in it. Huge part in it. And for me, that's another reason why I wanted to box, because I wanted to be healthy. I was sick of doing 10 squats, and then being on my arse, gassing out. I just done 10 squats. I've not run a marathon, but I'm acting like I've run a marathon because my fitness was like that. And I needed to be fitter. And that's why I started. That's basically, all of it together got me really into it.
So the benefit of boxing, you're saying it's more healthier?
100. In my opinion, yeah, don't get me wrong. Getting punched in the head constantly is going to fuck you. Like, I'm not saying fighting's healthier, I'm saying boxing's healthier. So
as a sport.
As a sport, physically having fights, that's not healthy. Okay? Like, there's guys I talk to who are boxers who, like, they're like some older guys that used to come to the gym who had like 200 amateur fights or 200 white collar fights. They struggle to speak a little bit because, mate, he does
like concussion.
It takes that. And one of the guys, so annoyed that I can't remember his name, but he was an older fella. He had about 200 fights, very popular in the white collar boxing industry. They called him like the gladiator, or I think. Actually, no, sorry, that's a different fella. But But he said to me, he goes, look, I struggle to speak. He goes, I know this is affecting my brain throughout my life. I said, that's crazy because it's meant to be like good for you, but now you've had problems. But that's because of the fighting, you know. So,
but if you do purely like boxercise, like
oh mate, that's gonna massively. Oh my god, you're gonna be so. Your bone density is gonna increase because you'll be smacking the bag. Your knuckle density, your hand density. It could cause hand problems. Again, I've hurt both of my thumbs hurt permanently because I was constantly hurting them. Now I've had a break from the boxing. My thumbs are healed and my nose, thank God. But
would you say that boxing increases your confidence as well?
Oh massively. My God, I could talk a lot about that actually. That I think when you put if you are to fight, if you are to have a boxing fight, the pressure that you feel, the anxiety that I felt, the nerves that were just eating me. I'm talking like, and I knew about this fight for 3 months. So that's 3 months of fear.
Build up.
And then when the fight happens, you think, fucking hell, that was only 6 minutes.
Yeah.
6 minutes. That's all it is. But then, what happens with then is, I had a job interview recently. I wasn't nervous because I've been nervous.
Yeah.
When I say, mate, I've had a fight, man, in front of hundreds of people. That's scary. This job interview isn't scary to me anymore. So it sort of puts into perspective things. You know what I'm saying?
Perspective.
Massively, hugely. I advise anyone out there, please start boxing. Give it a go. If you don't like it, you can stop and try something different. But I always say, give it a go, and even have just one fight. Have one fight, white collar, amateur, whatever. Have one fight. If you don't like it, never do it again.
I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I've known you for 8 years now. You've always been a nice guy. You've always been talkative. But since when you started getting into like boxing fights, matches, like your confidence shot up.
Man, for sure.
You're more brash with it. You're more.
Yeah, because you feel. Man, I don't want to be cocky or anything, but it does make you feel a little bit like, fucking come on. Like that's what it is. A little bit like, and that's why I always say like. Don't let it get to your head though. I always say to people, don't let it, because when a couple of the boys that box with me, I say, keep humble with it, man. I say you're a good boxer, but don't brag about it, man. If people don't like that, keep humble. I'm not the best boxer ever. Trust me, I'm not good. I'm not like. There's people that, like I said, who are like 11 years old that would smoke me because they're better than me. Yeah. But it's not about that. It's about being better than you was yesterday or being better than you was a week before. It's about constantly increasing, like, the benefits of it.
And that's the key, for me, that's the key to everything. Like fitness,
100%.
Boxing, 100%. Personal development.
Yeah.
You're only competing with yourself.
For sure.
That's how I see it, man.
It's a battle of yourself. It's a battle of the mind. It's a battle of the mind. And boxing for me, like you said earlier, the main question was, has it affected my confidence? 100 billion% yes. My friend, my best pal, Jack Newton, yeah. He started boxing. He got me into. Funny this actually. It's a good story. He got me into boxing. Really, he was the one that said. Obviously, Adam, my coach at the time, was telling me you need to box. But then when my friend Jack said I'm going to start boxing next week, let's do it. I said go on. He didn't come for 6 months. I started. He didn't. So he got me into it. But he never started himself. His confidence went up massively too. And now he wants to have a fight one day and stuff. He's an actor, so he's not as into it as I was, but because his face is important. So getting smashed up wasn't his forte, but he got me. Watching him grow as a person is great. Like it makes you feel good. It makes you know you can defend yourself. If you're in the street and someone tries to give it, obviously the whole God forbid that ever happens. And ideally you want to maybe run away from that because you don't want to get stabbed. Man, everyone's getting stabbed and getting hurt now badly. It's terrible. Acid and that. I don't want to even think about it. But if you need to be able to stand up for yourself, if you can throw hands, that's good. Just throw a few shots and run. Do you know what I mean? Run away.
Because I've got a story about that.
Go, yeah, please.
Before we started recording, I mentioned that your transition from bodybuilding into boxing was the opposite of me.
Okay.
Because before I moved here and started gymming, I was originally into boxing.
Oh, right.
So when I was 16, but...
So can you box?
Yeah, I know a few.
Swear down.
Yeah. Obviously, I need to relearn some
spar,
stuff.
Man. We'll spar sometime. I haven't sparred in ages. That'd be great.
Well, I definitely need to relearn some stuff. But I'm definitely on it, man.
Once you learn, in my opinion, that's another thing as well. Why I love boxing so much? Let's say you bodybuild for like 6 months, yeah, and you have a month off. It looks like you never even trained. Let's say you box for 6 months, have a month off. You're never gonna forget that shit.
It's still muscle memory, isn't it?
And you know how to box.
But that's called kinetic memory.
And that to me, that was making me feel like it was actually I was learning something you could train so much and then get ill for 2 weeks and lose all your muscle. I'd be like, bro, what the fuck am I doing?
It's funny. You said about like if you get into a street fight, obviously boxing, you should ideally be able to throw hands, innit? And obviously I'm not no Bruce Lee or whatever, but yeah, before I did boxing, I used to do Wing Chun Kung Fu.
Mate, my missus loves that shit.
Loves all that.
Yeah, my missus' dad, he's big on the wing. He has like scrolls and shit from it. I don't know if you know about that, but you get like scrolls in Wing Chun.
Yeah, I didn't do it that long.
Yeah, some crazy shit. I haven't seen it yet. He should show me, but...
But yeah, so there was a studio in Kentish Town. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
No, where's that?
It's like near Camden.
Oh, okay, no, I'm not familiar with that.
And, so I used to train there when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I did it for a year and a half. Maybe I'm not shitting on martial arts or shitting on Kung Fu, but maybe it's because I was too young and I didn't learn what I was supposed to learn. But whenever I'd get into fights, it would never work, man.
That's the thing. That's literally it. I'd say to people, like my brother did karate or whatever. Like, there was a kid at my school who was a black belt in karate. He was getting beat up every day. He's getting beat up every day. What? You're telling me that's going to work then? But if there was a kid who was a golden glove in boxing, no one's touching him, mate. Yeah, it's weird. I don't get it. Maybe it's more of an art form.
Do you know why? What I noticed? So when I used to go to those Kung Fu classes, and you train like techniques and you train sparring. When you're training Kung Fu, where I can only speak on that, it's all timed maneuver. Like, oh yeah, throw a punch, I'm gonna defend it. But when you're in the ring and you're doing boxing, there's no fucking time.
There's no like flicking the wrist, pulling it back. A lot of it's a bit of like.
It's real time fighting.
Yeah, it's
when people train martial arts, for the most part, it's not real time fighting.
No, I agree. So you got like, do you know anything about jiu-jitsu?
You know what? It's really popular now, but I never looked into it.
I think I'm gonna do it. You know? I think I'm gonna do. My brother, Aaron, he did a bit of jiu-jitsu. I'm not joking, you man. Like, that's my younger brother. Yeah. In my heart, I always say to myself, I could win in a fight. Everyone knows. You always have like. But now, in the summer, he was like, oh, if I'm on top of you, you won't be able to get up. I said, bullshit. I said, of course I will. I'm stronger than you.
Jiu-jitsu is that real time fighting.
Fuck yeah, man. That's hard. If you fuck with someone who knows jiu-jitsu and it goes to the floor, you're done. It's finished. But in the street, it's no good because let's say 10 man come and try. Well, not 10 man, but let's say 3 people try and come and attack you, right? And you're in the street. You take one of them to the ground. You reckon his mates are just going to watch? They're going to stamp on your head. They're going to kick you and stab you. That's what you need to avoid. That's why when you're on your feet in boxing, let's say 3 of them come towards you. If anything, learns how to defend a takedown. That might be beneficial. So my brother says he's really good at So my brother said if he was in a position and someone tries to take him down, he thinks he'd be cool enough to be able to sort of stop them from getting into the floor. He'll sprawl out, which is like a term they use in jiu-jitsu, which is I'm not too sure of, but that's why I want to learn it.
I get that,
because he knows about it.
But yeah, so back to my boxing story.
Yeah, of course.
So I knew all that like Kung Fu and stuff. I did it for over a year.
Yeah.
And then so I grew up in Camden, right?
Yep.
It's not the safest area.
I can imagine. It's nice to shop in though.
Yeah, nice to shop in, nice to go out. But when I was like 15, 16, it was like it will be 10 years in January.
Oh, was that your situation?
I was walking home. I did a bit of like New Year's Day shopping.
Yeah, classic.
And
good location.
I was on my own as well, just walking back to my block, and then these 3 youths from the blocks, right? They attacked me. And
really?
Yeah, man. They put me to the ground, but I was like, I was going at it. I was like screaming like, "Yeah, don't fucking touch," that sort of thing. Like,
you have to sort of
fight or flight.
Yeah, mate. That's it, man.
You get me? But yeah, man. They took advantage and they took my phone, innit? And then
that must sting, bro.
But big up my mate Patrick, right? You'd probably be watching this. He said to me, he's like, "Nah, man. You need to go boxing. You need to learn how to box." I was like, fair enough. And then he took me to Times ABC.
Oh, yeah.
Caledonian Road.
Yeah.
I believe Amir Khan trained there for a bit.
I'm not too familiar with that gym. I do know the gym, but I've heard of the gym. Not too. I mostly know that local gyms around here, but no, that's a good gym.
Old school.
Yeah,
boxing
proper
gym,
man.
And then so I trained there for a year, and not gonna lie to you, man, my confidence shot up
through the roof, mate. It
Bro,
would.
I was terrified to speak to women, bruv. What can I say, man? Like, back then, especially when I did the boxing,
yeah,
I was on fire with it, man.
that's the key. It's about. It's not about. It's about confidence. Confidence is key, and it's funny that you mentioned that. Let's go back a bit. When I was 15, I got jumped by about 20 geezers in the graveyard up the road. Yeah.
Fucking
I was about 14. It was over something that was nothing to do with me. I was hanging out with maybe the wrong crowd at times. I got a little bit involved in some shit, but it was nothing too crazy. Got jumped by about 20 guys. Funny enough, this like a traveller fella come and he actually just saved me, bro. He come and saved me, and he took me out of the situation. But I actually started boxing after that. Funny enough, like you.
So that was when you was young.
When I was like 14, 15. But I did it for a very small amount of time.
It's funny how like it took a situation.
Yeah, for sure. And then I ended up going there, but I was so mentally weak, man. They were this is at Hodbox, what was called Hoddesdon Boxing Academy at the time.
Okay, it's up the road.
Very good gym, Olympic level gym. You know, they got people like I believe Billy Joe's been there a few times. They've got some great guys who train out there.
I heard it's really like traveller centric in there.
I think it used to be. Yeah, when I went. So that's another thing. When I was young, I would go. When I was 14. I was like the only non-traveller in there at one point. It felt like, and they wouldn't pick on me, but they would just like take the piss and whatnot. But eventually, they'd actually become my friends. And I would tell them about my situation and why I'm here, and they'd be like, "Oh, let's go down there now." I was like, "Whoa, I don't want to reignite anything here." But I went there for about 3-4 months, maybe. It wasn't nothing too long. I learned a bit of basics, and the only problem is for me. Do you know why I stopped? Wow. I was just losing too much weight, man. I was like 58 kilos.
Yeah, man.
I was like 6 foot tall, 58 kilos.
Like, you know what? I remember when I said earlier, when I started my fitness journey, I was 75 kg. I was skinny. The only reason why I weighed quite a bit was because of my height.
That's the thing. It makes you look skinnier when you're taller. It's dead.
But all of that slimness, that was all because of boxing.
That's the thing. The boxing is so good for. Oh, mate, my fucking jawline was just creeping out. It was like every day I was like, wow, like I can't believe how much like body fat I gained over that time. I didn't even realise it. I thought I was slim, and then I ended up boxing. You lose all the weight. It's like whoa. It's crazy, but the contrast is brilliant.
Mate, all this boxing talk, it makes you want to get back into it.
Honestly, mate, you can just crack on the bag if you need to, bro. But honestly, no, I'm having a break from it though now. I had a fight coming up, and there was a fight. I trained my absolute heart out for it, and 3 days before the fight, the geezer pulled out. Man, I felt like I actually felt like saying, "Fuck this sport, bro. This sport is dead," and I just started hating it.
But we all love like the fitness and health benefits from it.
Yeah.
But I think with any competitive sport, right, when you get to the fights and the competition, there's a lot of ego in boxing, isn't there?
Massive.
Big ego.
But a lot of people think that like they're a lot better than they are. And I always think, you might want to take it down a step, man, because that ego can cause problems.
I can imagine.
It can cause problems, and also it sets you up to fail. Because if you think you're the best in the world and you get beat, your motivation is going to drop. Sort of like who's a good example of this? Like, I'm trying to think. Like McGregor, maybe. Like he lost his confidence through the roof. So when he lost, all the haters were jumping on it. It brings a lot of negative attention.
And also, when you have an ego, not saying that you shouldn't have confidence. You should be
confidence
confident
is not the same as ego.
Self-belief.
Yeah, for sure. I believed in myself. I was never. But if someone said to me, "Oh, you're the best boxer I've ever seen," I wouldn't be like, "Yeah, that's right. I know I am." I'd say, "Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate your opinion on that."
But what you said about ego is like arrogance, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And that gives people a reason to target you, or a reason to hate.
100%. I know loads of guys like that.
Yeah.
I know loads of guys who let the confidence get to them, but then when they don't get the win that they want, or they don't get the result they want, they crash hard.
Crushes them.
And I think, man, you just need to maybe chill a little bit more. Like, you're a great guy, you're a great boxer. Like, don't put so much pressure on yourself, man. And like, it's not even some of these guys I'm talking about don't think they're good. They just think they're not good enough even. So it's like the other end of the spectrum where they think they're not good enough, and then it just ruins their mind, you know. And like I always say to when I worked at the gym that I used to work at, I used to say to all the young guys, I used to say, you know, just take it slow, bro. There's no rush. I felt like a mentor to a lot of them guys. And I used to say, like, come on, guys. Like,
the one thing I love about fitness, whatever you're doing, bodybuilding, powerlifting, boxing, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Mate, absolutely.
It's an absolute marathon.
Like a desert marathon as well. Yeah. One of the long shit ones. Like, it's really going to take long. probably doing gym since I was 15. I'm now 26. That's a long time, man. That's a long time. Not all, obviously that whole.
That's 11 years, man.
I don't even want to say that,
11 years, bro.
But also, not all of that. Like, let's say for example, I trained perfectly from day one to now. I reckon I'd be doing bits, but
massive. Yeah.
You can't. Everything changes. You end up finding out. So like when I was starting lifting, it was all about 3 sets of 10. That's it. Now it's like 2 sets to failure. Make sure you have a 2-minute rest, and there's all this like science behind it.
Alright.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's just changing.
We'll talk about what was it, PRs in a bit, right?
Oh yeah, everyone loves a PR. For our first shot, let's say the first guy goes down, you can run now. You don't need to stand there. Obviously, some people don't want to run. Yeah, it's better, man. You want to risk it. Let's say you can't. Let's say you got no choice. You keep standing. You stand on your feet, man. Don't go to the floor.
All right, so Ben.
Yes.
Let's talk a bit about PRs in a personal best and difference in strength from when you started. Ego lifting, but also, when you've been doing it for a while. And I'll give you an example. When I started, I could barely even lift a bar.
That bar's heavy though at the start.
The 20 kg.
Yeah. That's heavy bar.
That's how weak I was. I couldn't even lift
that's
a bar.
mate, that's crazy, man. Because you're strong now, so that's come a long way. When I first went on that bar when I was young, I went to a gym in like Spain, and I went and put weight on the bar that I would put in my gym in here. But obviously my bar weighed about 2 kilo in here. So when I went to the gym, I put it on, it just crushed me, man. Because I didn't realise how heavy that bar was. So it's mental, but. Ego lifting's all PRs and that.
It's all fun and game, even though it doesn't matter.
You don't actually gain anything from it. A lot of people just want to know, like,
it's more like a self satisfaction.
Thing. Ego. Like, I really hurt my back doing deadlifts when I was like about 19, 20, and it fucked me for like 3 years. I couldn't really do back at all. It really, really affected me.
Yeah, I don't touch deadlifts, man.
Yeah, for real, like that shit. That's all ego lifting stuff. Don't get me wrong. Deadlifts are really good for your what's it called? Your
hamstrings.
Yeah, it's good for your you use a lot of body parts to basically get the lift to be completed. So it was my brain's gone blank, but it's
Is it hamstring, glutes,
your
lower back?
Not central nervous system, but your. If it even might be your central nervous system. It basically it uses all the muscles, so it's great for that. It's great for building sort of like a foundation of strength.
Using your biceps as well.
Yeah, man. Shoulders, biceps, triceps,
traps.
forearms, grip, traps, back, lats, the lot. Like quads even as well.
The ultimate exercise.
Yeah, it's a compound. It's one of the main compounds, but it's just a lot of risk to the risk to reward ratio is low. There's very low reward and there's very high risk. So it's hard to really know whether it's worth it or not. And for me, with my plan, it doesn't fit in, unfortunately. So that's the pass for me. But I got to a 200 kilo deadlift, so I was I was loving it, man. That was when I was 100 kilo though, and I was smashing the deadlifts. I was loving it. I've got videos actually you can put in, but I was doing deadlifts all the time, like.
Mate, and you know what's crazy, right?
Go on.
We're both sat here right now. If you scroll on my channel, if you go to the oldest videos before it was called London Boy Podcast.
Before it was,
I've got a video that's 4 years old. And remember, the podcast's been running for like 2 years. This video is 4 years old. And it's me at the gym lifting.
Yeah.
And you recorded me, bruv.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I do remember this one. Were you doing like Arnold press or something?
Yeah, a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I do remember, bruv. I do remember this. That's fucked. Shit, was that that was for the podcast?
That was for the channel for it, but for me it was just like an ego thing. I just record myself lifting. And
I remember.
And then it ended up being put on the channel.
And now we're here. I love that. That's a little bit of a journey there. I love that.
So we call a full circle moment.
That is a full circle moment. I love it. But like you saying about the PR and stuff, it's good to know where you're at with strength, but it's so irrelevant. Anyone out there trying to get stronger, I don't think PRs are going to get you any stronger. It's not. You hitting 120 on the bench for one isn't going to get you stronger than you was yesterday. But you hitting 110 for 6 reps every day for the next 6 months or whatever, and then upping the weight every single time you train, that's going to get you stronger. Facts. Like, increase the weight slowly, do more reps, you're going to get stronger. Simple as that.
So where are you at now with your lifting? You said you just got back into it, right?
So I've been about a month and a bit into the bodybuilding again. I don't want to say bodybuilding, but that's technically what I am doing. So I feel weird. It feels weird saying that again after all that time. But you basically want to. For me, I'm actually all good, man. Thank you, Lo. For me, it's about I just want to get to 90 kilo before February.
Okay.
But I want to be 90 kilo.
That's a fair goal.
And in good shape.
85 now.
86, 87.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking to be like big and fat again, man. I can't do that again. That's done, man. That big, heavy. Because I was taking. We'll talk about supplements actually, if that's a good topic. We can talk about supplements. I was going to say, I was taking a supplement called MK677. Have you ever heard of that before?
Mate, that sounds like some Captain America serum, super serum, bro. Say that again.
So it's called MK677. Yeah.
Fuck.
So it's actually called ibutitine or something like that. You can maybe get it up or something.
It's not a steroid.
So this is what it is. I actually know all about this, right? So this is called a growth hormone secretagogue, right?
So it's a growth hormone.
Well, no, because the chemical itself doesn't do anything to you. What it does is it makes your own. You have a gland inside your body that produces growth hormone naturally. Okay. This supplement basically increases. It's meant to stimulate that gland to produce more growth hormone.
Okay.
Basically, but with that, it also increases your ghrelin hormone, which is your hunger hormone. It's not even a joke. I was waking up in the middle of the night, starving, hungry. I was eating. I go to Wagamama's, right? I'll get 2 katsu curries, bro. And I just waft them both down. I would eat mass, and I put that down to my weight gain massively, my food intake. But that shit was incredible for the weight gain.
Sure you didn't just have munchies?
Mate, it was a bit of both, man. It was a bit of both. I was in love, and so I found out. I'd done a lot of research into this because basically I was about that close to starting steroids. I did one injection in my arm. I did a testosterone injection. I got someone to do it for me. They stuck it in my arm, boom, and it went that deep. It was like that deep.
What sort of steroid was that?
Testosterone. This is just pure testosterone, right? And I felt that needle go in, and I felt the liquid like oozing into my shoulder. But I didn't like it, man. And then for a week, I couldn't even lift my arm up like that because it went all like infected and shit.
Did you feel aggressive at all?
No, I felt ashamed of myself, to be honest. I didn't feel aggressive or anything. You wouldn't get anything from it straight away, but what I did feel, and that aggression thing, just point on that quickly, it doesn't make you more aggressive, test steroids. You know what it does? It increases your already mood. If you're an aggressive person and you take steroids, you're going to be really aggressive. If you're very anxious and you take steroids, you're going to be very anxious. If you're happy and you take steroids, you're going to be very happy. A good example of this is look at Chris Bumstead. Does he look like an angry man to you?
Who's that?
Chris Bumstead, Mr. Olympia currently. He's currently like 7-time Mr. Olympia. If you don't know him, he's a good guy to watch on YouTube, man. He'll get you motivated. He's obviously on a lot of steroids. He's just like happy-go-lucky, really
chill.
Just because he's naturally a nice, happy guy. But then you get someone who's like a fucking gruff, like aggressive man. You give him steroids, he's about to be the most aggressive man you've ever seen. It's about you as a person. As an anxious person, I'm very anxious. So if I was to start taking steroids, I'm going to be very, very anxious. Therefore, I can't. That's why I found MK677. Conor Murphy, who you mentioned earlier, who's friends with Brandon Carter,
big up Conor Murphy.
He did a cycle of MK677. He says cycle, but it's not really a cycle. But he took MK677, and it doesn't affect your hormones. That's the main thing. If you take any sort of SARM, that being...
So what's the point of it? It just increases your eating...
It increases your growth hormone. But in a way that only your body has to do it itself. It won't give you growth hormone. And everyone reacts different. You might take it from nothing. I might take it, might get every single result possible. So it's very hit and miss, and that's why it's not very popular at the moment. But it will become one of the more staple parts. I think it'll be as popular as creatine at some point.
So MK677.
MK677. There's loads of brands out there of different strengths, but don't get fooled because a lot of these brands they put actual SARMs in them as well.
What's SARMs again?
SARMs is like an oral steroid, so it's basically a steroid you take through a tablet form, which is absolutely toxic. Do you know the safest way to take steroids? Needle in the arm.
Oh, for real?
But you'd think that when you get a fancy pot with little pictures on it and it's got pills, take these one a day, you'll get big. Yeah, you will, but at the cost of your health being fucked. your testicles are going to shrink up inside you. You're not going to have any sexual drive anymore. Your acne is going to improve. You're going to lose hair. You're going to lose this. When you come off it, you're going to turn into a woman. You're going to get lactating breasts. Do you want that? Who wants that?
I'm not here to throw shots at anyone. But there's a lot of fake natties. A lot. And I'm not just talking on YouTube. I'm talking about people at the gym. Like, you'd be surprised you're on steroids, man.
There are kids on steroids now.
There's kids on steroids.
There's kids on steroids. There was kids they're taking Psalms. And YouTube doesn't help. A lot of people on YouTube, so let's bring up one, for example. Simeon Panda, right? I knew he was going to laugh. Lifetime natural. You're a liar. You're not a lifetime natural. You've been taking steroids your whole life because you're too big. That's how it is. This is a fact. You can't tell me you're not on steroids. You're obviously on steroids. But what you do is when you do that, when you tell people you're not on steroids when you are, it gives an unrealistic goal to the younger generation. And so what they do is they feel like they're not better. They're not good enough. So what they do, they start taking steroids to get better. And then in turn, they die young. It destroying Mike O'Hearn and another fella that's a fake natural. He's an older fella. He's getting musclier as he gets older. That doesn't work like that. You don't get into your 60s and look bigger than you were in your 30s. So, again, it's creating an unrealistic, an unrealistic physique that you're not going to achieve. You can't achieve that.
I mentioned Brandon Clark earlier, right?
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything bad about him, but he's openly admitted now that he started taking steroids because of his health issues.
Of course, everyone.
But his physique is no different. So. Some would argue that he was already on steroids.
Which I personally believe he was.
You believe
I believe he was. I like him, a good guy. I think he was on steroids. I think now it's become socially acceptable to say you're on steroids.
So that's probably why you say
all these people are like, oh, I've just started taking. That's a lie. You were taking them before. But anyway, that's what they want to do. That's their own life. You want to lie.
But you know what you said about the fake expectations and fake results and all that.
Yep.
So personally, back in the day, way before this channel, I used to go to a lot of networking events.
Okay.
That's how I met.
Funny enough, I remember this.
Yeah, that's how I met Brandon. That's how I had dinner with Conor Murphy. And in these events, they tell you how to grow your YouTube, grow your audience, and capitalize off your audience. So
do you think it's beneficial though? Do you think it's a waste of money? Do you stand by that?
I stand by it, but the only problem was that back then I didn't have the confidence to start my own channel.
Yeah, it's a very confidence based thing because it's hard to fail. It's not about it's hard to not do well because it puts you in a vulnerable position.
It does, but like
I think that's actually a positive thing, to be honest, bro.
So at the time, man. So a lot of the premise was that you build up your channel, you build up your personal brand. Like for example, I say London Boy is my personal brand because it's centered around me. Even though I got guests in that, but so let's say like, look at me, I'm massive. If you want to get like London Boy, buy my program. A lot of it is about selling your program, right?
Yeah, man.
A lot of it.
It's all about marketing. It's a marketing strategy.
So imagine I'm, I don't know. Let's say I'm Simeon Panda.
Yeah.
He's got a massive personal brand, and he's telling people he's a lifetime natural. And he's like, yeah, look at me, I'm a lifetime natural. You want to get like me? Buy my course. Buy my training program. So people end up buying.
Yeah, man, it's so of bollocks.
They end up buying the training program, thinking, I'm going to build a physique like Simeon Panda. But Simeon Panda's injecting needles up his arse, bruv. Like,
same with Mike O'Hearn, bruv.
As well.
He was selling capsules of tablets that were like 600 quid a bottle. You fucking dumb. That's not how it works, man. The only way you're getting like that sort of big is if you take growth hormone, testosterone, or tren. Those are the only three things you can take. In my opinion.
Work hard over.
But even then, the human body has a natural limit, and some of them people like, bruv, Simeon Panda's walking around bigger and more lean than Arnold Schwarzenegger was back in the day in his prime. What's you talking about? You're natural, mate. What are you talking about? You're too young as well. He was like looking like that when he was like 28. Like, this doesn't make sense to me, and I just think it's just so toxic for them. And when so there's a guy, Kenny KO. Do you know Kenny KO?
I've heard the name before.
Yeah, he calls out all the fake naturals. Yeah, when he goes to these events and he calls them out, these guys they panic. They panic. But do you know what it is as well? The ones that get angry with him, they're the ones that you know are fake naturals. The ones that go, no, Test, I'm sweet, I'm not. The ones that just talk to him like a human, you know they're telling the truth.
But you know what it's about? You know why they get angry though? Because if I'm
embarrassed.
Not only that, but let's say I'm Simeon Panda and I've built a following of over 1 million subscribers, and a good 10,000 of my subscribers are buying my courses. If some guy comes to expose me saying I'm a fake, he's fucking up my money.
Fucks up your money, man. That's the thing. When money gets involved, a lot of these, some of the main reasons that guys would never say they're not on steroids is because their sponsors would just drop them. Like Gymshark, notoriously known for dropping athletes. All of Gymshark athletes were on steroids. Facts.
Even Conor Murphy, man.
100%. But if one of them said they was on steroids, they get dropped by the brand.
Bro, do you remember when I met Conor Murphy?
Yeah.
And
he's changed.
He was like double my size, right?
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Bro, a picture I took with him, I'll try and put it on here. I was 19, right? The geezer, you look at him, back in the day, you would have think, yeah, he's like 26, 27. Bro, the guy was 22, man. He's 3 years older than us. He was looking like that.
Because he was taking
He's looking like, bro, I'm 26. I'm nowhere near like that, bro. Like,
mate, it's so, do you know what? Do you know how easy it is to get steroids? It's easier to get steroids than it is like a can of fucking normal, and then fat cans of Coke. It's harder to get one of them now than it is to get fucking.
Well, it's easily accessible now.
So easily accessible, like it's crazy, like. And I think, and that's why a lot of kids are like taking them, and it's more about the SARMs. The SARMs are really, really popular at the moment because it looks, you can buy them online. There's websites.
They're legal, are they?
It's completely legal. Yeah, completely. Well, it's not legal for human consumption, but you can buy them legally. Yes.
So what's the purpose of them?
What? Just to get you bigger. Less side effects.
But if you say it's not good for human consumption, why do people sell them legally then?
Testing, man. Just say. It's a lot of shit, man. Mate, when it on the bottle of MK677 I used to say, it says this is not for human consumption.
Not for real.
Because it's not. It is, but it's not. It's really, it's actually quite it's a bit of a, like, what's the word, like a loophole in a sense.
Loophole.
So you got to find a way, all companies will always find a way around it, but you need to be careful when you're taking, whatever you're taking, make sure you look, a lot of pre-workouts back in the day had like meth in it.
They give you heart attack.
MDMA. Bruv, look at what you're taking, man. This scanning your body, like, be careful, for real. Like, you're gonna die. Young, very young.
Personally, the steroid thing, I've never taken one. I've never been a fan.
Unless you're in your late 40s, where your testosterone's actually depleting, that's the only time you should take testosterone.
Personally, in my family, a lot of high blood pressure.
Yeah, that's another thing. You got to know about your blood. Do your blood test.
I ain't trying to get a heart attack by taking fucking steroids.
Yeah, why? You got one life. You're gonna ruin it just to get a big bigger on your arms, like.
And personally, I know you mentioned like we all have like a genetic ceiling.
Yep. I believe we do.
But I personally think we do, but also it's all in the mind. Because like I mentioned personal best earlier, like I stopped doing bench press with the bar and I started doing it with dumbbells because I've had a lot of rotator cuff issues over the years.
Yeah, and then with free weights you can manoeuvre it.
Free weights, and there was a period where I was stuck on 40 kg dumbbells on each side, right? For a long time, 2-3 years I was on 40. Now I'm on 45 for reps, like 10, 11, 12 reps.
Really good, man.
But I don't think, maybe I must have become stronger, but I think personally I had a mental plateau. I just weren't pushing myself.
You've got progressive overload is so important. A lot of guys, including myself, are going to the gym every day and doing the same weight, 3 sets of 10. Every day I'm doing 3 sets of 10, and even if I got to 10 with ease, I'd still stop at 10 because in my head I thought that was the right thing to do.
Really? You're mentally conditioned.
Yeah, you can't do that. But what you're saying is true, yeah? You can get a better physique with better mindset. But do you know a guy called Nick Walker? Okay, we'll use Phil Heath for example.
Phil Heath.
No matter how mentally strong you are, no matter how hard you train, no matter what you do, you will never look like Phil Heath, ever. Because you cannot get to that level without steroids. Not only that, has he got the most incredible genetics on the planet, it will not happen. Yeah. I'm sorry. A lot of people I know, they go, oh yeah, no, it just takes longer for us. No, it doesn't, mate. You're not a superhuman. You're not genetically gifted like that, unfortunately. You have this genetics. You're not Phil Heath. You're bloody, you're so-and-so. That's your genetic. That's your limit, man. And if you take steroids, you're going to get bigger and you're going to look better. But you're never, ever, ever going to look like Phil Heath. Because you're not Phil Heath. That's the problem.
And the thing about it is that he does it as a job.
Of course, like, a lot of guys, it's different. For me, I always said, if a company said, look, we'll sponsor you 100 grand a year and you need to be bodybuilding and competing in bodybuilding, fuck, I'll take it.
I'll do it,
I'll take it, man. I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, that's your life, man. Your life's like you know, Carly Muscle.
Yeah.
Geezer's like had 4 heart attacks, man.
Bad. Isn't it?
Guy's like, have you seen him now though? Skinny, like slim, really slim, not skinny, slim, lost loads of muscle size, but he's so much healthier. Doesn't take as much steroids
I
anymore.
remember him back in the day, he was doing videos from prison.
His skin is like, you can pull his skin out of that, that's how big he was. He's now, but he's saying, he's preaching health. He's saying, guys, don't take steroids. He knows he took steroids. He admits it now. That's the thing, it's killing the youth, man.
But looking back, the only YouTuber that I could say was in his lifetime natural is probably Elliot House.
Yeah, he didn't have anything crazy. He didn't have a crazy physique.
When that guy was strong, doing strongman, he was.
Yeah.
You could tell he was fat.
But even then, like Eddie Hall, bruv, the geezer's blasting steroids, mate.
Yeah,
Blasting steroids.
I saw his diet, 12,000 calories a day, bro. You can get a heart attack.
You
from
die
that.
young. Do you reckon you can't? That's why he'll have to take insulin, which helps break down the food digestion. There's a guy at the gym I used to work at who was a competitor. His name's Alex. He's a competitive bodybuilder, and he tells me all about the fucking what he takes and why he has to take it. And he's open about it. He's very open about his use. And I was like, man, that seems like a lot of effort, man. He's like, it's bodybuilding, man. And I was like, fuck, like that's a lot.
Why you die young from it?
Why'd you die young?
And you die young.
Oh yeah, you die young, man. Of course, mate, if you're taking steroids until you're older, you're gonna die young because of it.
Do you know who's like an original fitness person that died really young?
Who?
Have you ever heard of Ziz?
Oh mate, Ziz, big up Ziz, the Ziz pose, man. He was a good friend of Jeff Side apparently. Or,
yeah, I heard.
Well, actually, Jeff Side's friend was a good friend of Ziz, but he died in the sauna, bruv, because he had a heart attack. His blood pressure was through the roof.
But that guy, he weren't just doing roids; he was doing all types of drugs.
Yeah, he's taking cocaine, fucking MDMA, pills, probably. Like, he's a party guy. He was into that hard style kind of music. That's a very drug oriented kind of music. So for him, that's so sad, man. But that's a lot of youth now. But this is the thing, everyone's like idolising Ziz and saying he was a hero. Was he a hero? Like, he just took steroids and said he didn't. And sometimes I think, I don't really know if he's... I wouldn't say he's a hero, but I'd say he's definitely had a massive input in the fitness industry.
But I think though he's got like the Tupac halo.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you die, you're the greatest.
Yeah, and I sort of that's actually true. People rate him so highly.
You know what I mean by Tupac halo?
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean by that. Yeah. But it's more like I don't really know much about Ziz, but I know he probably was like the first fitness influencer ever, if that makes sense.
I just know what he looked like. I knew he was on roids and he died young. That's all I know.
Pretty much. And he's friends with guys, and he's friends with people who are friends with Jeff Side, and they will all say, no, we don't take steroids, we're all natural. Of course you're not natural, mate.
It's bullshit.
Of course you're not natural. If you're sponsored by any sort of Gymshark, MyoProtein, if you're sponsored by them, you're probably not natural. Nowadays, they've got like overweight people being sponsored by Gymshark, yeah.
That's even worse.
Which is just fucked, man. Which is whatever. Like that's what you want to do, but for me, that's a no-no. But because I don't think. But even then, they could. This is the argument they hold, and I get it. Is that being fat is probably just as unhealthy as being on steroids because you're both going to die young. So it's just a matter of who's going to die first. So you might look better, but you're going to die young, just like they are. So it's hard,
isn't it? So
it's hard.
Delve into steroids now. Let's talk about supplements.
Oh yeah, supplements are great.
Do you take creatine? Do you take
yes,
protein?
Yes, I do. I take creatine every day, 5 grams a day of creatine. I take it at night personally. People take it before a workout, after a workout, middle of a workout, whatever. I take it at night. It's not a stimulant at all. Some people say it isn't natural. I say it is because we produce it naturally. It's in a meat, it's in steak. We just can't produce a high amount of it, so we take it as a supplement. Protein shakes, not massive, not necessary. If you can get the food in, that's better. But if you have the time, if you don't have the time, should I say, then bang a protein shake, man. It's good. It's not going to kill you.
Personally, I haven't taken a single supplement in like 3-4 years.
Bro, I need to tell you, get on creatine then. Yeah. Get back on the creatine. Creatine is the god. Do you know it's the only supplement, well it might be different now, but 3 years ago, it was the only supplement that's actually got scientific backing to work. It's the only one, the only legal supplement. Protein powder hasn't got any backing to it. Obviously it does make you bigger if you take it, but there's no evidence. Creatine has actual evidence that it works, you know?
Like I've experimented with creatine and I was inflated like a balloon.
It makes your water weight, holds water retention very high, your face might inflate, but that goes up. Do you know why though? Are you drinking enough water?
I don't think
that's the thing. If you don't drink enough water, you take creatine, your body starts to absorb all the water.
I'm talking about my muscles as well. They were
Mate, you're gonna pump up. You're gonna flop.
Yeah.
That's what it does. It actually increases the ATP levels in your muscle. And the more ATP you have in your muscle, the quicker and faster and more efficiently you're going to recover, therefore being able to make more strength gains and size gains.
And I know, stronger as well.
The size comes a lot from the water retention, but it does come from muscle as well. Don't get me wrong. People say, it's all water, it's all water. It's not water, that's not true.
Yeah, but when I started, I was like that 75 kg. Mate, I took whey protein, I took weight gainer as well.
I took that every morning.
Shit was crazy.
That shit's fucking... the scoops were like that fucking big. Like, it was mad scoops.
And that shit will get you massive.
But not in the right way.
Not in the right way.
And I say that to people as well. I used to take a Optimum Nutrition mass gainer every morning. Only one scoop. The scoops were no joke. They were like that big. And
is that with the black?
Yeah, black and the green.
Or was it black and gold?
No, that's gold standard. That's
standard,
a different one.
Yeah.
Black and green was mine. And I only did one scoop. One scoop was 650 calories. I'd have that every morning. That's cool, like whatever, man. Have that
for breakfast.
Yeah, I'd have it with other things. Whatever. That was like my 5,000 calorie journey. That was when I was bulking heavy because I wanted to get as big as humanly possible. But no, it was honestly that was a journey for me, man. Getting big like that. That was I loved all that. The supplements, everything. When you get into supplements, you just get so obsessed with it.
It consumes your life.
Yeah, it does. I used to fucking sit there all night researching supplements and being like, I want to get this, I want to get that. Have you ever heard of creatine nitrate?
I've heard the name, but I don't know the difference.
I tried. So basically, apparently it's 2% more effective. Not sure how true that is or anything, but I took that for a while. I thought it was great, but then they took it off the market. Now you can't buy it anymore. So it's like
dangerous.
I think it become like once the I don't know what we have in this country. I know in America I think it's like the FDA or whatever, where they have to check things are like safe for consumption. I think it didn't pass all of the protocols that it needed to pass in order for it to be sold in the UK. So they got rid of that one pretty quick. But that's the thing, supplements are coming out all the time.
Yeah, but I'm at the point where I'm at 107 kg.
That's good, man.
It's like
that's
it's not
heavy,
my heaviest was at 111.
Jesus
but before I went
Christ.
to New York, I shredded 10 kg just clean off.
Swear down.
I was going on 1,000 calorie runs a day.
Ooh,
that's the thing about the boxing. The boxing is the most fit I've ever been. So I was implementing knowledge from boxing into my cardio.
That's how you get fitter, man. The boxing's how you get. If you want to get fit, like I said, just smash. Not even boxing, just cardio, man. Just hit the cardio. Even if you're trying to bulk up, just do one bit of cardio a day. Like not a day, sorry, a week. At least one session of cardio a week, just to keep healthy, man.
Because like when I used to go to Times ABC, man, they used to send you running through the canal, like go to the next town,
it's
and
crazy.
then run back, like.
But boxing coaches have like no heart, man.
No heart.
They have, except for like Adam and George, the guys I train with, they have a heart. But a lot of boxing coaches don't have a heart.
I feel like that sort of training, like it's a step below being in the military.
Mate, going to hot box is like going into the army, like.
Oh, for real.
And if you're late by like a minute, you're gone. Get out. Go, come back. Like they're serious over there. They're very serious. But I wanted to go amateur with it, but it's just a lot of pressure. If you have a job, it's hard to stick to it. It's very hard, but
yeah. So back to the like supplement thing, because I'm at a heavy weight now, 107. I'm not really in a position where I want to be taking supplements because I'll just be overly inflated.
Yeah,
when I'm trying to get leaner.
There are supplements you can take to get leaner though. There are others, but I mean,
like fat burners and all that.
Not fat burners are very hit like. If it's legal, it's going to be shit. That's a fact. The only fat burners that work are the ones that you can't get in the store. But then that has a lot of other side effects like clenbuterol. That's one of my main ones that I know. I can't think of the other one off the top of my head. But that's like one of cleanse one that most makes you shake, makes you sweat, makes your heart rate triple. You know what I mean? Like you think your blood pressure's bad now, you take that, it can be through the roof. So that's why you got to be careful with supplements like that. But there are some like creatine. You can burn creatine burns fat. Yeah, burns body fat. MK677 burns body fat. Protein powders, no, they don't burn. You gain body fat from those because it's some sort of calorie going into you.
It's got a lot of not calcium. It's got dairy in it.
Lots of dairy. You can get vegan ones if you can stomach it. Personally,
you know what?
I
used to take hemp protein.
Oh, I bet that tasted horrible.
Yeah, I used to mix it like fruit juice.
Yeah, my brother takes some like collagen protein powder. It's like a really weird, like sort of like a vegan. It's vegan as well.
Alright.
and it's got like about 17 grams of protein, but it's really good for you, and he puts berries in it and all sorts of stuff. It's really good for you, man.
But that's like for people that want to like lean bulk or healthy bulk.
Yeah, well, they say bulking's a myth. I think eat enough calories, train hard, and work out regularly. Consistency is key. If you're not consistent, you're not going to gain
with
it.
anything.
With anything. If you're not consistent, you're not going to get the results you want. A lot of guys I speak to say, I want to get big, I want to get this, I want to get that. I'm like, oh, how many days a week do you train? Oh, sometimes twice a week. Well, good luck, mate, because that ain't going to happen. Like I said, you've got to be consistent with it, and you've got every single time you go back, you've got to train a little bit harder, a little bit better every time. Facts. And same with supplements. You know, be consistent with the supplements. Don't take creatine for like a week and then back off. Take it for a month, 2 months, 3 months.
See how you get on with it.
Yeah, let your body react. A lot of people go, oh, I started taking shakes, but they weren't working, so I stopped.
But yeah, but like...
You barely even tried.
But like we were saying in the beginning, nothing's ever one size fits all.
Nope. So sometimes even...
Something might work for you and it might not work for you.
100%. That's why some people, even steroids, for example, people react differently to steroids. There's a guy called Nick Walker. He's a freak. He's genetic. Before, you could post a picture of him. That's worth posting. A picture of him when he was natural.
What's his name?
Nick Walker.
Nick Walker.
He's a bodybuilder now. But his first competition, so his last competition, it is a day and night difference. It is incredible. I'll show you on here so you can just see what I'm talking about, right? It's an absolute day and night difference. And this is what I'm saying. Everyone reacts differently. If you took what Nick Walker was taking, you wouldn't look like Nick Walker because you're not him. You know what I'm saying? Makes sense?
Yeah.
So.
And he's on roids.
Oh yeah. So that was him before like he started taking hard steroids, and then that's him after. The difference is incredible.
Day and night.
Because it's just that. But it makes.
Yeah, it looks like he ate a whole fucking.
Like it doesn't even look like him. Do you know what I mean? That's not even good genetics right there. But then when you look at that, you'd be like, oh, the guy's got the best genetics in the world.
He went from crackhead to meathead real quick.
Yeah, and do you know what that is? That's not having good genetics. That's about your body reacting to steroids incredibly, and that's the difference. So it can be very hit and miss with that.
Yeah, man. So we've got low battery, so just to sort of wrap things up.
Of course, no, yeah, crack on.
What advice would you give to somebody that's never, you know, they might have weight problems or they might have confidence issues, and they want to start a fitness journey, but they don't know where to start. They don't know if they want to do martial arts. They don't know if they want to do bodybuilding. They don't know if they want to do boxing.
Yeah.
They just want to get started, right?
Yeah, they want to
the best advice is always get started.
Yes.
But where do they start?
For me, my opinion, my advice would be start with. So if you have a friend, it's always good to start with a friend. Do it with someone. That always helps. If you have a lack of motivation, get a friend involved. Start training with someone. That can always help. Me personally, I'm a lone wolf. I can train on my own. I prefer it. Yeah, just personally. Get a friend. If not, train on your own. But pick a. So if you like sport, if you like football, play football. Get fit. Get athletic. Use that to encourage you. If you like boxing, start boxing. Start hitting the bag. Start skipping. Start running.
Experiment with your interests.
Yeah, 100%. Experiment with your interests and then take it from there. For me, it was boxing. I loved boxing. I got into the boxing. After the boxing, it became the bodybuilding. I used my interest to fuel my passion and my journey. Yeah, for sure. So for anyone out there who wants to get into this, if you want to change your physique, get big, get massive, become a good fighter, you know, just give it a go. Give the fight.
Try different things.
Try different things. I can't. Like I could say to you now, go box and you'll love it. You might hate it. You've boxed before, so you probably would like it, but you might hate it. That doesn't mean don't do anything else.
The funny thing, like you mentioned, going with your friends.
Massive importance.
It's funny, like when I started the boxing thing, it was a social friend activity.
It is. It builds you.
But when I did gym, it was more like lone wolf.
Yeah, because you're same with boxing. You're not boxing with someone. You're boxing on your own. It's a lone wolf. I'm going for runs on my own. I'm hitting the bag on my own. Don't get me wrong. We do things as a group, like boxing.
Really, when you get through the door, right, it's always as a group.
But really, it's you because you could all be hitting the bag at the same time, but you're putting in 10% effort while someone else is putting 100% effort in. It's about what you're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's only going to fuck you in the long run if you don't put enough effort in. So again, like I said, if you're trying to get into something new, if you're trying to get into a new new fitness journey, just start, just try, go to the gym, go lift a weight, go but do your research first, check it up, look it up, you know, watch videos. TikTok's great for it, man. You can TikTok's great. Go on TikTok, type in boxing, just scroll through all the boxing TikToks, gonna get you so motivated. I can't stress it enough. Obviously, scrolling through social media isn't super healthy, so don't do it for too long. But you know what I mean? Like, get good at get a knowledge media.
That's why I'm only on Instagram for the podcast.
Yeah, man. Social media.
Currently, I don't have a personal one, man. It's not.
Yeah, nah, fuck that, man.
It's not good for you mentally.
Yeah, it's not good. Because I do PT and that, I use it to sort of connect to people. But
oh yeah, Ben, shout out your PT.
So I do. PT. So Ben CK Coaching on Instagram. Check it out. I do it in here. So this is my little studio where I train guys, and I would basically. So some for example, some people. They want to get into the fitness journey, but they're a bit nervous about being in a gym with loads of people. So my niche, in a sense, is I take you into my own gym, and we can just do it, me and you. And you know, if you don't feel comfortable doing things in front of others, you know, I want to make you feel comfortable. And my goal is not to have you as my client forever. I actually want to have you for a while, build you up, and then push you out into the real world. Because listen, I charge £30 an hour, yeah. I don't know many people my age that will want to pay that 3-4 times a week. Yeah. So if you like to do it with me, that's great. If you want to stay with me forever, please, I'll love to. That'd be great for me as a person.
So for the people, you said it's Ben CK Coaching on Instagram.
Yeah, right? Ben CK Coaching on Instagram. Yeah, check it out. And I've got my personal Instagram, b.cantwell.k. If you don't find that, you can just contact me on there. But yeah, that's great. I just do that that was my main thing, but now I'm on to I've got a new job coming up where sell watches and that, so that's a new path I'm about to take, and that's the key, having a new journey, new growth, learning new things. But yeah, for sure, anyone wants any PT and that, please let me know. Even if you just drop me a message and don't want to do any sessions with me, I'll give you advice over text for free. Like, I just want to help people, man, and that's my goal in life, man. Help the people in the fitness world, get everyone active in fitness. That's the goal.
And any final messages to the viewers, man?
Man, enjoy the video, I guess. I mean, we've had a good topic of conversation. I hope you answered a lot of questions and stuff.
Guys, stay motivated.
For sure.
Ben.
Love that, man. Appreciate that, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course, man. That's training time.
Appreciate you letting me use your studio.
No, for sure. Anytime. We should do it again, bro. If people like
we'll do a part 2 soon.
Please, I'd love to, man. Honestly, I have a really good video. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you, everyone.
And people, don't forget to subscribe. London Boy Podcast. We're out.